Hello, welcome to my game, A Kingdom in the Clouds. It is a 2D side-scroller shooter and action platformer. So, as you can see here, you are playing as a little man atop the clouds, and this is the Weather Prince. So he is a weather sprite that controls the weather. And he's on a quest to return his kingdom back to normal, and he'll have to fight through his brainwashed old subjects. So, as we go through, there's no advice so far up until now, which is shift to dash, which I already did by accident. And now it says left mouse button to fire, and that uses fire. And you can now now that you understand how to dash, you can dash away from enemies as well. And you'll notice that when enemies are hit with fire, they continue to burn as long as, they are able to be hit with fire, and I'll get onto that later. So these are the ice enemies right here, which means that they can be hit by fire, but not by ice, and we'll see that later on. The abilities in my game are representative of the elements of weather. So we have the heat representing the fire, and we have ice later on representing the cold, and past that we have the dash, which is the wind. So if we walk over here and press E like the sign tells us to, you'll see that suddenly a drawbridge is opened, and we can now go through that path. You can already see an enemy is eager to fight us, and so we'll take care of him using the fire that we have access to. You can see it continues to burn until he's dead. So we can use the dash to cross that gap, and now we are making our way across. There's health pickups, however I was already at full health, so that wasn't necessary. So right now we have the air enemy coming through. He can be hit by both fire and ice, but as we haven't been introduced to ice yet, I will only be using fire. So we get into a roadblock where we can't get over this. So we'll try dashing. Nope. The only thing we can else try is the fire, which, as you can see, lights it ablaze and it melts into a puddle, allowing us to walk through. So we can jump over here, and now we have another health kit, but we can't get to it. So as we saw before, it's the same ice. We can melt it out, and suddenly there's a health pack for us. But once again, we're full health, so we don't really need it. So as we saw before, this is one of our drawbridge, but we can't get down to where it's going to be, and it's already across. So we'll just walk across for now. But as you can see, there's something down there. The sign says to go back, but there's a lever, so we'll push the lever and then walk back. And that is how you die. So now that we have flipped the switch, trying again, you can see that the drawbridge is lifted, and we can jump down and react to the change, allowing us to burn this ice and head forward. And as the sign says to keep going, I will keep going. Which brings us into level 2 once it finishes loading. We can cross this with the dash, and we've gotten hit by enemies. As you can see, they will punch us repeatedly over and over. And they will not walk over each other. And additionally, if they get to an edge, they will wait there because they know they can't cross it. So we'll finish that one off, and we'll continue forward. This introduces us to our next mechanic, the right mouse button, as the freeze. So as you can see, we can't get over this either. So we'll use right mouse button, and suddenly it's frozen. And now it slides across, and we can go down there. If we freeze it again, we can push it over there. There's a level over there, or a lever over there, so we can see that we can go that way, but we can't quite get up. But there's another object over here. So we can push that over and go back up. And we can try to freeze the enemy, but as this is the ice enemy, it won't work. In this game, I really wanted to find a balance between fun platforming and creative uses of mechanics, as well as the shooting. I really enjoyed the shooting being accurate towards the mouse. I find that's quite satisfying to use. As you can see, we're getting a little low on health here, but it's okay. We'll take out that enemy, and it saw that the lever was over here, so we're gonna try and freeze this, push it out of the way. That gets out of the way, but we have to be careful and dodge over. And there's a health kit, which we desperately need at the moment. Pick up that health. It heals us almost full. You can press E, as we learned before, to move this. However, only one of them goes down. And now I do remember that when we were exploring the other area, we didn't go left. So what we can do is head back down and see what's over to the left. And would you look at that, there's a lever, which causes the first of the two to go down. That allows us to cross the bridge and we'll head over. But if you were looking carefully, you might have seen a new enemy type that we haven't seen before. And it's going to help us introduce the ice mechanic even better. So this is the fire enemy. As you can see, it's shooting fire, which allows us to have a taste of our own medicine. If we try using the fire mechanic that we've used before, it has no effect on it. However, if we shoot it with the ice, suddenly he's frozen. Not so scary anymore. You can continue hitting him with ice to kill him after. So this will kill you immediately. But if you freeze it, you'll see that suddenly we are able to walk across it and take out the enemy. And only after a short period, it turns back into water, which will kill it instantly again. So this section shows that there is a moving cloud. In the first area we can go, we will take a look, but there's another ice again, which we will try to get across. And there we go, we can have another health kit. Much better. We can cross back again and wait for the cloud. Missed my opportunity there, so I'll wait for the next run. Allows us to get to the top, where we have to watch out for this enemy here. So if we freeze him and move all this down, we'll have to fight a few more enemies. And we can continue moving it, but only while frozen, because as soon as it thaws out, we can't move it anymore. I liked this section a lot, and I wanted to add a couple more slopes because of how fast the movement was. So if we go down here, we find that we can stand on this button, but it doesn't stay down. So using this, push that down, go across and see what awaits us. It's the drawbridge to the castle. So if we walk through, and now we are finally inside the castle for level 3. So we have our first face-off against a fire enemy here. And as we go forward, you might be wondering what happens, especially since the air enemy can take ice and fire. If you try to hit them with ice and then fire, it unleashes a nasty combo that does a ton of damage. The game doesn't advertise this though, as it rewards the ingenuity and creativity of the players by granting them a giant bonus to their damage. The same goes if you were to light an enemy on fire and then hit them with ice. The reaction would be steam, causing steam burns. If we go through this, over here, and we don't want to jump right into the pit without seeing what's down there, so we will go forward, jump down here as it's our only way down. We can see that we can't quite go that way, so instead we'll just move forward, and we can't quite get up there either, so we're gonna push over this block and then make our way up. And we'll see this lever here, and if we push it out of curiosity, we'll find that the blocked area is now open. And it grants us a nice health pack, which is good to get us back to full health for this most challenging level of the 3. We'll make our way back up, and we'll find that there's obstacles here, and we will try to get around them. So as you can see, we can jump up here, we can freeze this one, which causes it to lower slightly, but there's a secret area over here, which this allows you to get back up by pushing it back in place, And there's some health, although I will skip it because don't really need that right now. So we'll get back over here. It's technically possible to climb just the first one, as you saw there, but this makes it a little easier. And if you block yourself in here, it's entirely possible that you could miss the hidden secret entirely. So we will burn him on fire and use an elemental reaction. We will freeze this lake so that we don't die across it. Freeze the fire enemy and then use our fire to initiate a reaction. Go across this, and as you can see, it's already down, meaning that we definitely need to use a lever somewhere. So if we keep going, and we'll find one. If you start going back, we've already been told what this is before just from gameplay. So we follow the way down, taking a leap of faith, fight some enemies, and we find ourselves with another button. And it should be pretty obvious at this point what to do. As there's two, we get to use both of our mechanics back to back for puzzle solving. Now that that button is pressed, we can make our way forward, and there's 2 health packs. And I'll use the first one here. The 2 health packs would be giving us a hint that there's something big ahead. And if we go inside, something big indeed there is. If we make our way through these enemies here, we find ourselves face to face with the crystal that has infected all of our enemies and made their eyes red. And if we hit it with 5 projectiles of any type, it destroys it, and you have once again saved the kingdom. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.